All right, welcome back, everybody. This is part two of Peragus in Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 2. After the unexpected end of a unplanned part one, I originally planned on doing this one take, but that didn't work. It's now the day after that. I did have to go back and do some running around because I had to catch up to where we were because of some save corruption shenanigans. But we're basically right where we left off, with me coming back down here from the Peragus level and getting the information to get the console ID of where the sedatives were administered to the miners did in the Kolto tanks. So, like I said then, I know exactly where that console is, and it's actually this one, the maintenance station on the same level where the HK50 is. So we're going to check the system signature, and we're going to see at the top there that, yep, this is the one. While we're also here, we can enter the enter voice print code we got from the sonic sensor and copying the speech from the HK50 droid. And then we're going to open the door. If memory serves me right, if you can't go through all that, you can actually just destroy the console and it should open the door over there. I'm going to go ahead and save now so that I don't have to do all that running around again. And in the event that the movies crash the game again, because this is actually the fourth or fifth time I've tried doing this on recording, and it's a case of a 19-year-old game acting like a 19-year-old game on modern hardware. So hopefully I don't have to do this again. I really don't want to do this again. I'm going to do an awful lot of save stating here. I can only imagine how the shuttle ride from Citadel Station to Telos will go. Good God. Probably should have thought about that before trying to record all of these. At some point, if it becomes too problematic, I might just skip the videos, because I'm pretty sure there's a the moment of truth. Interesting. It looks like it doesn't take the sound. If you're not hearing it, it's because I'm also not hearing it. He looks nice. Spaceship noises. So this is the other thing that happens, and that it just might black screen on you. We are just going to exit out if I can. And now we're just gonna skip the video because we've seen it. We've all seen it. And this is why you quick save. You quick save an awful lot. We're gonna employ some speedrun strats. And by speedrun strats, it just means I'm gonna click through cutscenes an awful lot. Save me all of 30 seconds.
That's about time. I lost your signal after you...
Yep. Wait, what? That's not supposed to happen. That was weird. I might try that again later, because that might save me, like, quite a bit of time if I ever do actually try to do some sort of jankery with this.
That's about time. I lost your...
Huh. I wonder if it has something to do with it bugging out here and then just me being transferred to that cell. Because in the 20 years or so I've been playing this, it'll be 20 years next year, but so like 19, but I've never done that before. I've also never mashed left click and escape before during the cutscene. I might just camp out on that for a while because that was very interesting to me. There we go. So this is where it should have picked up after that second silent video.
He has come.
Alright, so as you can see, this is where it should have taken. Quick save. Just replying to a text message real quick. Might edit this out, might not. If not, you're gonna stare at this glorious sight for a second. Alright, and we're off. That scene with Kreia is something added by the restored content mod. There was supposed to be a lot more of those, and they were added in by the amazing people responsible for that project. But they were not in the base game. I think this would be like a prime candidate for a sort of remastered or definitive edition. I know that Obsidian definitely, since they were bought out by Microsoft, they have definitely the resources to do something like that. But I can also see it being incredibly messy with the Disney licensing. So this is the other thing that I ran into, in that as part of the troubleshooting the crashing issue, which I might as well just go back and see if I can reverse it now. Is that because of some certain frame rate issues, the game will sort of lock your movement controls after combat ends if you don't have VC enabled. I don't know why. I don't know how. That was just a fix that I saw on the Steam forums years back now, and it's held mostly true. I understand, again, this is a nearly 20-year-old game, but I really wish that some developer, whoever has the license to fix this damn thing now, would be able to go back and just iron out some of these remaining kinks that have been here since the Bush administration. But maybe I asked for too much. Actual armor. So this is the other thing I really fucking appreciated about the random loot thing, is that actual combat, baby. This is arguably one of the lightest. This is one of the cheapest armors available, but it's also significantly better than the miner uniform. So we're taking it. This is another reason why you kind of want to put points into security. I might I know I'm gonna level up here in a minute, so I might just run back to get those. I'm definitely going to, well, maybe not definitely. I am just texting back a friend who's sort of shepherding me through some of this prospect, who might be watching this who might be watching this later. If so, hi Calica. Alright. Gonna upgrade that. Select the combat suit. What the hell? Alright. When I level up, I'm gonna put a point in security so that I can pick locks. This is why you don't want to be frozen. Gonna take out these friends real quick. I don't want to fight you. there we are. Perfect. Now I'm going to put one in Gearhead. Yeah, let's go speed. Can't really use it with armor, but once I start getting more access to roads or certain Jedi armors, it'll be more useful. And now that I don't have to break all the containers open, gonna keep on the survey gear just because it's the best thing we kind of have going for us, and throw on the insulated gloves while we're at it. I don't know the percentage of immunities stacked, but I also have nothing else for those slots, so I might as well. Gonna turn off the poison so I don't have to deal with that nonsense. And so I hope you like security logs, because that's what we're gonna be dealing with here. For efficiency reasons, I kind of go with this one first. So this is probably going to be the first section of the game where you get a lot of actually decent items. Like I've expounded on a couple times, the game is entirely random for most of its loot. And so you might get nothing, but you might also get like Mandalorian Assault armor. It really just depends. Like this armor I'm wearing right now, it's actually kind of appropriate because it's one of the weakest armors in the game, but it's also still better than what I was wearing, the minor uniform. And because there's nothing else for there and the log terminal is broken, we're gonna go on this way. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior? If you're wondering what low-level combat in any game looks like, it's like this. By the way, this might date this video, but this is coming out during the whole OGL thing, or the Open Gaming License debacle with Wizards and Hasbro. And it's worth pointing out that games like this were made under the OGL 1.0, and so if it wasn't for that, the Open Gaming License, this game probably wouldn't have been made, and so I'm obviously a little biased. But yeah, I don't have time for Hasbro's nonsense for that sort of thing. Bell am I wearing? Safety harness? I'll go and do that. I don't need demolitions, I need saving throws. If we don't get anything good here, there's always the Harbinger, which is always going to have, you know, at least 1 or 2 good items on it, probably. Like one time I walked off with it with the Magva, which is a Gamorrean heavy armor. And it gives you pretty much damage reduction 10 against everything. And if that's not your thing, I don't know what is. Saving here. And we're gonna go through some logs. So the last time we talked to the administrator was all the way back up on the administration level. So let's see what he has to say at this point in the situation.
This may be the beginning of a long record. It's about an hour after the facility suffered the explosion that triggered the emergency lockdown. Just finished helping the dock officer set up the transmission relay. Not much signal strength, but it's better than nothing. The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when or if help arrives. Code is a simple group of 5 numbers. 3, 17, 13, then the next 2 numbers are...
Sir, couldn't we contact the med bay? Maybe the Jedi's awake. If so, she could help us.
No good. The link to the medical computer was severed from the hub, just like the administration console. Even if the Jedi wakes up, how would we get the dormitory turbo lift code to her? Without it, the turbo lift to the administration level is locked down. We just took an inventory of our supplies. We've got enough emergency rations in the dormitories to last almost a month. But with all the problems in the facility, I don't know how long we'll last. I wish we could contact the Jedi. Maybe she could... No. She's still floating in that damn tank. Someone's played us for fools. And since Quarter and his crew aren't locked in here with us, it's pretty clear who it was. If I ever catch up with that Mandalorian-loving son of a... At least the air scrubbers are still working, even though they're tied into the... Hey, what's happening to the ventilation system? It's...
That's some fast poisoning. Next, we're going to the dock officer. He was the person we talked to when we were playing as T3M4, getting to the fuel depot in the last part.
We managed to get to the dormitories. We should be safe here. We've been trying to use the holo-transmitter to beam a transmission to the administration level to end the lockdown. But the administration console's been severed from the main hub. Everyone thinks we should try to evacuate on our own as soon as possible. But there's no way to break the dormitory seals from the inside. I'm going to keep sending distress calls in the meantime. We've been trying to find a way to circumvent the lockdown and get to our hangar bay, but so far, no luck. The situation's worse than we thought. Even if we get out of here, we can't shut down the fuel depot force fields if a fuel leak was detected. If so, the only way off this asteroid is if a ship docks with us. But the only connection to the docking platform is on the administration level, and we can't get up to the docking bay while we're trapped here. I only hope someone survived the explosion in the mining tunnels. If not, then we're stranded here. Unless our transmission reaches a passing ship, or a Telos freighter. Managed to use the holo-transmitter here as a crude relay to beam short-burst transmissions outside the Peragus facility. With any luck, the transmission will carry beyond the asteroid field. We've set the emergency transmission on automatic playback. We're using a simple military flash code to transmit the code to the turbo lifts, so maybe our rescuers can get down to the dormitory when they reach the station. Without those turbo lift codes, our rescuers wouldn't be able to get here from the administration level. And without those codes, we wouldn't be able to get to the administration level if we found a way out on our own. The messages are short distress calls only, since we can't get much signal strength. It's pretty weak, so unless a ship is actively searching the area, it might be a long time before a ship picks up the message. After all, who would be scouring frequencies way out here looking for trouble?
Who indeed? And so the next one's going to be the mine foreman, who does not speak classic basic, as it were, so you're going to have to read the subtitles. So prepare for that, and if you don't really want to do that, just skip ahead.
Manama treto sobre barakto drun. Krishe mentru gre babano flank tur na saganich. Gravawe no ku se tabate bate. Trawinsto sobotuto neliep grimpatato. Trawinsto busuto neliep grampatada. Teleronda nana nintolo gradatira. Der interrunto wakere que wapa terra chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de brintada nel camera cella fi por no botat. Dosane caramala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin cranactada. Relibe coronto so mele grima con corre gimbasa. Rechu contrada suma con chere non grum. Gel ractada cemenza binga rukutoto und chuchur remananza. Der interrunto wakere que wapa terra chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de brintada nel camera cella fi por no botat. Dosane caramala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin cranactada. Manama treto sobre barakto drun. Krishe mentru gre babano flank tur na saganich. Grava we no ku se tabate. Trawinsto so potuto neliep green patado. Trawinsto busuto neliep gran patada. Tele ronda nana nintolo gradatira. Der interrunto wakere que wapa terra chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de brintada nel camera cella fi por no botat. Dosane caramala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin cranactada. Ferra to rampada no rinca nel commercio cella fi por no. Turu kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Totorere senisensen. En de session tranda un lontros na what is sesh? Manama treto sobre barakto drun. Krishe mentru gre babano flank tur na saganich. Grava we no ku se tabate. Trawinsto so potuto neliep green patado. Trawinsto busuto neliep gran patada. Tele ronda nana nintolo gradatira. Der interrunto wakere que wapa terra chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de brintada nel camera cella fi por no botat. Dosane caramala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin cranactada. Ferra to rampada no rinca nel commercio cella fi por no. Turu kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Totorere senisensen. En de session tranda un lontros na what is sesh? Ona jun senisensen drawiche nel commercio cella fi por no.
Your ears always were too big, Cian.
Listen, guys.
Come on, if the maintenance officer comes through on the explosions, these dorms are gonna be filling up soon. And shut that damn data pad off and throw it down the refresher.
Alright, so we're getting pretty close to a complete idea of what's going on here. There's a few pieces we're missing, but we're just about there.
The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when or if help arrives. Code is a simple group of 5 numbers. 3, 17, 13, then the next 2 numbers are...
So if you don't have high enough intelligence, you actually have to figure this out for yourself. The secret way to break most Obsidian games is either make charisma or intelligence your high stat. In this game, it's definitely intelligence. Whereas in New Vegas, charisma and speech will just break the game. Alright, with that, we're ready to progress. I want your sweet droid meat. I don't know if I'll have the ability to kill it before that droid gets to it. I started a sentence before I realized that I definitely am overpowered for it. Gonna switch to this. Open says me. It'll be so much easier when I have Atten. Because spoilers, the Atten and Kreia are your beginning party members. And so if you actually, it's actually one of the better options to take Guardian as your class, because with Atten you get a rogue who's a scoundrel who's basically a rogue. And then Kreia you get a counselor who's basically a mage. And so if you choose the Guardian option, you have a pretty well-rounded party. So it looks like it was the V. It is the V sync that fixes that issue with the soft lock after combat. Before the TSLR RCM, this guy right here would actually just have randomized loot. It's actually the restored content mod that makes it so his loot is randomized or is set. Same thing with the first container we opened in Peragus with the dead droid and the vibro cutter. Good God, I'm just getting all the upgrades though. If I get like a base, if I get a regular Rylith cell, then we're gonna wreck shop. Well, Atten's gonna wreck shop because I'm gonna outfit him with some stuff. I could probably run back to that workbench now and get him outfitted. I might just do that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that while I'm down here. And then see if I can get myself a better option for melee weapon and give this thing to Kreia. And okay, I have a few things I can mess around with. I'm gonna break those things down. Break you down. Break that down. Yeah, I'm not gonna need these. Not gonna need you. Not gonna need you. Iron cell. Ion cell. Damage short one. Blah blah blah. Keep you. Keep you. Okay, so with these, I can give Atten some neat stuff. I'm just gonna break these all down right here. Other sweet. I can give myself a black vibro sword. So field survival pistol, nothing really to write home about. 1d4 damage, but with Keen, this turns into a 17-20 critical. And already gives me bonus damage, which does stack with a power pulsator. So that will make Atten a lean mean crit machine. Give me that. Millennium, neutronium. Just give myself that. I'm gonna go with the Zabrak grip. And then I already have the ion cell. I would like to go for like the that's always weird. Like I wonder why it goes with bludgeoning from ion to that. Who knows? And for Atten, give him some sort of extra damage. Alright, so makes it a little easier to hit, but we get some extra goodies out of that. So go ahead and throw that on, which gives us some decent damage, especially for this early in the game. So on critical, what this basically means is that I'll be rolling 3d4 plus 1 times 2 damage, or at least Atten will be. Which will make him a hell of a lot more useful for a little bit. And then Kreia will just use the this nonsense. Sweet. And I think I've said this a couple times, but I'm gonna say it again. That sort of being able of tactical planning is one of the reasons why I love this game's approach to items so much. In that, if you know what you're doing, you can prepare for a lot up front, and just be able to wreck shop. And now we have poor Corta and his compatriots. What's interesting is that you can actually run back to the mining dormitories and play back that recording, so we're gonna make a quick return trip. Interesting, you see it's encrypted. Private comlink message. Who was Corta talking to?
What did you want to talk to me about? I have to suit up and drill the 3219K asteroid claim within the hour, so talk quick.
I heard you had plans for the Jedi, about selling her to the exchange.
Yeah, but security already set their piece on that, didn't they? Nobody's getting sold to anyone.
Are they? I've seen the logs you've been accessing. Maybe the two of us could work something out.
It doesn't matter what we work out. We wouldn't make one hyperspace jump before what's left of the Republic was on us.
If you have a way off this station, I can cover our tracks, and ensure the Republic is not alerted to our presence.
Well, I may know someone. Works the system on special jobs. He may want to know details, but I might be able to arrange transport.
I've seen the logs. I know you've already asked him and given the details. Once he agrees, I can handle the rest.
Handle the rest? Like how?
When the time comes, I'll contact you via comlink. Maintenance out.
Since when did the maintenance officer grow some horns?
Alright, so Corta was talking to the quote-unquote maintenance officer, though if you recall back to the earlier episode, or the first part, you will recall there's some weird stuff going on with the maintenance department. I think someone's gonna give up the whole ghost of that plot in a bit here, but if not, I'll explain it. Save here.
Almost didn't make it out of the dormitory section before the lockdown, you murglak. You're cutting a little close, aren't you?
Yes, a regrettable miscalculation on my part. I'm contacting you because I'm picking up a subspace transmission from within that level. Is that your doing?
No, they must be trying to use the old relay system to send an emergency signal. I doubt they know what's really going on.
Hey, this turbo lift's locked down.
Try the code again, and don't worry about the miners and their transmission. By the time help arrives, we'll be all the way to Nar Shaddaa.
Oh, they won't be leaving the dormitories. The explosion within the tunnel has damaged the ventilation systems, causing breaches in the core exhaust conduits.
What? That's going to kill them all!
Not all of them, but I'm sending a number of mining droids to your location right now to correct that problem.
Corta, this turbo lift's locked down. The sequence isn't working.
Keep trying it! You! Why are you doing this? Why me?
You. It was never about you. The Jedi is all that interests me. But then you had to ruin everything by revealing her identity and then trying to harm her. And that I cannot allow. Statement. You are a risk, Corta. You are impulsive, crude, and soon, deceased.
Mocking query. Corta, are you dead yet? Smug statement. I believe I forgot to mention that I reversed the turbolift codes, in case you managed to get this far.
So with that, we have some of the final pieces of the puzzle. The maintenance officer voice printed all his terminal and most of his workstation so that only he could do it, not accounting for the fact that the HK-50 droid can mimic his voice, as was demonstrated with the ability to record him saying the turbolift code with the sonic sensor, which also means that he was the one who was able to mimic the maintenance officer's voice, to change all the directives of the mining droids, which he prompted after he modified the 3 droids initially and had all the droids sent to back to maintenance for him to do it to all of them. And so from here, because we reversed we manually interpreted the code, but then we also watched that video or that holo recording that told us that the code was reversed, we can just close this button. If you weren't able to work that out, if you didn't have high enough intelligence or weren't able to, you would have to manually work it out or destroy the console. I think the experience reward is higher if you go through the whole trouble of if you have high enough intelligence, but it's been too long since I've done that.
I have felt a disturbance. Our enemy is here. We must leave at once. The one that fired upon the Ebon Hawk as we attempted to rescue you. And he will not let us go without blood being shed.
So at this point, we can press her for more information, but we're going to get a lot of these exposition later.
We need to make our way to the docking area on this level. I fear the airlock has already opened, and if so, we must be on our guard. If we cannot reach the Ebon Hawk, then we must find a way to escape on the ship that has docked here.
Alright, and so now we have our first actual party member.
Yes.
Kreia, the Jedi Counselor. And wisdom's always I'm gonna start focusing on her intelligence so that she gets some more skills. Oh, I'm coming for you, heal. And she definitely fits the controller category of mage. Give her damage, power, and we're going to give her the longsword. And then make her Jedi support so she'll use those powers. Savity, savity, save. We're no longer alone.
What in space is going on? Who's this? Another Jedi? What, did you guys suddenly start breeding when I wasn't looking? Alright. I'm guessing that Republic ship that just docked isn't carrying friends of yours.
I hope your talent for understatement is offset by your skill with a blaster. If not, then I fear our time together will be short indeed.
Yeah, and I'm also good at running and drinking, Your Majesty. And even if you two aren't big friends of the Republic, that warship's the only way off this station. Good thing we have a clear run to the ship.
Threat. Master, perhaps I did not enunciate clearly the last time we spoke. I suggested that you should shut down, stay put, and wait for rescue. Correction. I am not here to argue semantics, Master, so I will simply inform you that you are wrong, as were those recently corrected miners. Indignant answer. Master, the miners intended to place you in jeopardy. I could not allow that to take place, so I was forced to negotiate a termination of hostilities. After reprogramming the mining droids to mine any organics they perceived. They began to kill the miners one by one. Then a series of flawlessly timed explosions drove the miners into their dormitories, where I was able to gas them all at once without wasting time hunting them through the mining tunnels. I then administered a large dose of sedatives to the remaining miners in the med bay, enough to kill them, but ensure you slept peacefully. Of course, against my calculations, you awakened from your tank prematurely. I am ashamed by the inconvenience that caused for both of us. Answer? You misunderstand me, Master. Those droids were there to guard you. As I said, I did not anticipate you awakening from the tank. You are quite a hardy specimen for a Jedi, a Rungto among humans, if you will indulge me the metaphor. Besides, as you proved, Master, such droids could never pose a threat to a Jedi. The droids were custodial in nature, cleaning the facility of other distractions. Answer. It is beyond the scope of my programming to probe the motivations of my clients, Master. Suffice to say that I am being well compensated for my services. You have been a difficult target to find. You have been wandering the galaxy since the end of the Mandalorian Wars, leaving little record of your passage. It is as if you did not wish to be found by hunters such as myself, or more likely, the Jedi Order. Admission? It was a matter of chance, Master. I happened to be serving as a protocol droid on the Harbinger when you booked passage. After that, it was a simple matter to sabotage the Harbinger and call for a retrieval. Irritated statement. However, when the Ebon Hawk appeared and salvaged us from the wreckage, I was forced into a series of rapid recalculations, culminating in our current situation. Chiding answer. My programming renders me incapable of revealing the identity of my client, Master. However, I am free to say that my client is wealthy and very interested in possessing the last of the Jedi.
It's interesting to note that we definitely meet his client later. And later, I mean like probably 25, 30 hours from now.
Answer. No, Master. Killing you was never the intention. If you resist my attempts to return you to your Kolto tank, however, I may inadvertently fracture your skeleton in several places to incapacitate you.
Never take me alive, fucker!
Resignation. Very well, Master. If inflicting pain is the only means to resolve this matter, then you leave me no choice. Oh.
And now we have Adam. So Adam, as you can see, doesn't have much in the way of mental stats other than charisma, so we're gonna do what we can to pump up that intelligence. For the love of God, give him good healing, and then give him those Indiana pistols.
Yes. Accuracy ratio achieved. Prejudice set to maximum. Self-3.
Where that came from?
I hear you. Who's failing, Master?
Yeah. If you don't save them, the trail will happily get blown the hell up. Alright. Let's see what the gold mine awaits. Well, let's see what awaits in the gold mine would be the actual way to say it, I suppose.
Something is wrong. I sense no one on board.
You sense no one on board? Sense any assassin droids creeping up behind us like last time?
Everyone here has been slain, yet there are few signs of battle. No carbon scoring, no blast of fire. This place has been hit by assassins of a different sort.
Then what are we doing on this ship? We were better off in the facility. You two are supposed to be Jedi? You two are the worst Jedi I've ever met.
If the assassin machine was correct, then we cannot reach the hangar. Be silent. I need some time to think.
Look, I don't mean to cast another shadow on this, but even if you could reach the ship you came in on, it wouldn't matter. You'll need the orbital drift charts to clear the Peragus asteroid field, unless you want to have the shortest flight out of Peragus ever recorded. Well, of course they have the asteroid drift charts in their Navicomputer. They'd have to. Well, we'd have to get to the bridge, I mean... Well, that's the biggest problem I can see.
That is a sound plan for the moment. Let us go.
So during the conversations, this is the part where we can, from the here on out, we can select conversation options that'll sort of give us or make us lose influence on certain party members, which will be how much their alignment changes to shift to ours.
Our enemies gather while we wait.
All right, but this won't end well. Trust me.
Groovy. Alright. I'm gonna plunder the ship. Hi.
More where that came from. Time to take you down to size.
So this is probably one of the most important rooms to visit, and it's not advertised or shown in any way whatsoever. So what you want to do is come down here, and then come to the briefing room console. Because, oh boy, you best believe there's more logs.
We've been diverted from Onderon to the Outer Rim. There's not enough ships out there, and we're already hard-pressed to keep patrolling the regions under our jurisdiction. I'm afraid we're going to lose it all. There's just not enough ships and too much territory to cover. We're still rebuilding from the war with Malik, and sometimes I wonder if we'll ever recover. Still, we have our orders, and the Republic's put the highest priority on this mission. Looks like the trouble on Onderon will have to wait.
Foreshadowing about Onderon, by the way.
As ordered, we've picked up the passengers from the Outer Rim and have made quarters for them. Once aboard, we've plotted a course for Telos. We expect to arrive within 10 standard days, provided there's no mishaps. I've been ordered to give the passenger no special treatment, nor make any indication of her identity. I have some reservations about turning the Harbinger into a passenger liner, but the orders were clear. Whoever this passenger is, she's got diplomatic-level priority, whether she knows it or not. We picked up a distress signal and are sending a message to the Republic for permission to investigate. We have also transmitted the damaged vessel's ID signature to the Republic. According to the message, it's being pursued by Sith forces. There's no match for the vessel in our databanks, but the profile of the distress signal suggests it's a stock freighter of some kind. We'll only know for sure when we arrive, and we'll find out if the signal's genuine or a trap. We wanted to check with you, sir, before diverting course from Telos. There appears to be some battle that has taken place in the sector, and we've received a distress signal.
You have permission to divert course, Captain. If there's a Sith presence in the region, I want you to investigate. The ID signature on the freighter, did you get confirmation on it?
Yes, sir. We did not have the vessel listed in our databanks, so we transmitted the code to you. Was there a match?
There was, Captain. If you find any trace of that vessel, even wreckage, I want it.
Yes, sir.
After you've investigated the sector, Resume course to Telos with the passenger. It is of the highest importance that she reach Telos.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure she arrives intact.
Good hunting, Captain. Admiral Onasi out.
Sometimes I wonder if the right hand of the Republic knows what the left hand is doing. I'm always being kept in the...
Query. You sent for me, Captain.
Yes, I need you to check on the passenger again, see if there's anything she needs. Try not to be too obvious about it. Her safety is our top concern.
Statement. I shall use the utmost discretion, Captain. As always, it is my pleasure to serve.
That seems like a nice droid, right? But yeah, that fills in a lot of information about what we had before the prologue with the Ebon Hawk and T3M4. Because, like was mentioned in most of the earlier dialogue, that the HK-50 droid started off here and then found us when we were here on the Harbinger. Hey guy, I'm trying to open a box here.
I hear you.
Switch into a range battle so that he'll switch to melee.
What is it?
And give him the good morning gauntlets. So that
Yes.
when he's unarmed, he will actually do decent damage. And I think we're gonna have to turn around here in a bit, but we have more plundering to do. This is honestly like one of the most exciting parts of the game for me, just because I spend a lot of time thinking about like what I'm gonna get. Because if you don't get a lot of anything you can really use, you can still sell it when you get to Citadel Station. And more logs!
We have taken on passengers to Telos.
Sir, we've just received an emergency broadcast. A freighter under attack by Sith forces.
Can you get an ID on the ship?
Yes, sir. We have its ID signature. It's not in our databanks, but its profile suggests some low-stock freighter. Says it's being hit hard by a Sith warship. Sir?
I'll need to confirm with command before we move to intercept. Report.
The Sith warship is empty, sir. We attached an umbilical and sent 3 strike teams through it, and there's no sign of a crew or its commander.
There's no one on board? What about the escape pods?
They're still in their berths, sir. This place, it's empty. It's like a ghost ship.
Then who was firing at the freighter?
We don't know, sir. The freighter's empty, too. We did a clean sweep and nothing except a lone T3 unit, badly damaged. Did you still want tractor beams to the Harbinger?
Search the freighter and the warship one more time. If they're clean, then we'll tractor the freighter over.
Yes, sir.
No idea why the Admiral thought that freighter worth all the effort, but we'll find out.
Everyone in the Ebon Hawk was dead, sir. We're starting autopsies within the hour.
What about that Sith corpse we retrieved from the warship?
We haven't had a chance to fully examine it, sir. He looks human, but he's fractured in several places.
Then keep me posted. Something's wrong here, and I want to know where all those Sith on the warship went. We're still experiencing a problem with the communications array, and now maintenance is telling me there's a cascade failure in the weapons.
Sir, I just picked up an unusual sound from MedLab.
I have come for the Jedi. What the hell was that?
Sir, I don't know. Communications just got cut.
Send a security team to MedLab, now!
That's not ominous. Level! Oh, thank God. also give her a heal. As a counselor, Kreia will get 2 force powers per level usually. That's kind of what makes them a wizard.
What is it?
Okay, disruptor carbine isn't bad. You can sell it for a little bit, but it's not upgradable, so it's therefore not very interesting to me.
Let us end this.
Time to even the odds. More where that came from.
More carbines. So let's see here. This is basically what I'm interested in right here. So the high base damage of 2d6, but you can't do much more to it. And disruptors are interesting because they do lower damage than some of their comparable partners. So like the disruptor rifle versus the disruptor carbine, or disruptor rifle versus a disruptor blaster rifle. Sorry. Will do typically less damage, but the damage goes through shields, damage reduction, and stuff like that. So it doesn't look like we're gonna get anything super cool off of this run. Never say never. We still have an entire deck left to this place. But typically this is where the most of it is. No, we have 2 decks left. Sorry, we have this one, we have crew deck, and then we have engineering. Getting kind of nervous because it's been running a little too smooth for a little too long. And so, like most of last episode, I'm just like, where is it? It's gonna fail. And this is our room.
Are you all right?
This was your room? When?
We do not have much time. Whatever you intend to do, do it quickly.
And so we can get a nifty little armband here, which doesn't really do anything. It just gives us a +1 to our constitution. But I like to wear it for roleplay reasons. And you're up.
Damn thing's stuck. Damn thing's stuck.
I hear you.
The downside of RNG-based loot tables is that even if something's hidden behind a higher than average security DC, it doesn't mean it'll be worth it. So you're gambling if you are using items for those sorts of things. Hi.
This
More
shall
where
not
that
stop
came
us
from.
long.
The reason I'm going all zoomy like is that one of Kreia's buffs is that anything she casts on herself, the main party or the main character, i.e. me, will benefit from it. rolls downstairs, alone or in pairs, and over your neighbor's dog. It's fit for a snack. It's great for a snack. It fits in your back. It's log. Log. Log.
Something's wrong. Ever since we picked up that Sith firefight in the region, crewmen haven't been reporting for their shifts, and I can't reach people on the comm. The strange thing is, I keep feeling like someone's watching us here in the ship, but I can't see anyone. I don't like this. Checking the survivor from the Sith vessel. I'm not sure whether he's alive or dead, or what's even keeping him together. His flesh is cracked and scarred, and I'm registering several thousand fractures in his skeleton, as if each bone was splintered repeatedly over time, then put back together. Judging from the scar tissue, I believe these wounds took place before his death. If so, he must have been in constant pain. I have no idea what's been keeping him together. This is the medical officer. The soldiers sent to the medical bay have just died. I don't know where the subject went. I think he's gone to find more of the crew. With him are Sith. They just appeared right out of thin air, like they were wearing stealth generators, but I think they were always on board. When we stopped to pick up that freighter, they must have come on board the Harbinger. I have no idea how many are on the ship. There could be only a few, or as many as 100. And with communications cut off, we can't call for help. I think that thing in the tank was a Sith Lord, alive the whole time, waiting for something to wake him up.
So one of the things I love about this, as we get towards the end of this prologue, or this tutorial section of Peragus in general, is that while they answer a lot of the preliminary questions we had when we started, they're introducing new questions, which I think does a lot to keep engagement up, from learning about the immediate concerns of like where we are, how did we get here, and stuff like that. But now it's like going forward and like what else is going on, because now we're learning a little bit more about the meta plot. We know that the Republic really wants to talk to us. Thonasi, who's the guy the captain was talking to, that admiral, was a major party member, your first party member actually, in KOTOR 1. And we also know that we might be the last of the Jedi. And so we're learning more about sort of what will go on to become the major plot. But we also know that there are still Sith in play, which is interesting because what we established earlier is that the Sith lost the Jedi Civil War from KOTOR 1. If you hear sirens, that's because there are sirens, because I live in the downtown of a major American city. And if I really want to, I can get some chemicals out of there, but I don't plan on using those. Stop giving me carbines. I mean, I don't even know if carbine's the right word to pronounce it. It could be carbine. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so I don't know. I feel like it's just an accentism on my part. I could just go whole hog on making mines. Wait, which level of that was that? Mark 1. Okay, so nothing crazy. I thought it was like a Mark 4 or something. I'm like, good God. That would be nuts.
Let's settle in.
Give me stuff. buddy.
More where that came from. Time to take you down to size.
This shall not stop us for long.
So what that just told us was that HK-50 purposely sabotaged that droid so that it would be the protocol droid for the captain, which later went off to cascade into every other decision we've seen throughout the prologue. And so, like, when I'm talking to friends or other colleagues, because I am a writer, about the sort of the importance of ontology and storytelling, there always has to be a series of events you have to understand, even if the audience doesn't necessarily isn't going to be privy to all of it. If you're making a story, you have to understand the flow of events and how you go from point A to point B, or at least a general understanding of how you might account for that, because all of those details are going to be important. And so one of the things I employ as sort of a idea when I'm writing is I need to be able to explain 80% of everything that happens and leave that last 20% purposely a little vague to let the audience sort of fill in the blanks with their own imagination, because that's one of the best tools you can account for when you are creating fiction. But yeah, you still have to do a lot of legwork and a lot of homework to make sure that your story is cogent. So here we know that the HK-50 sabotaged that droid so that it would be the captain's preferred protocol droid when it discovered that we were the Jedi it was looking for. From there, it sabotages the Harbinger, goes on to the Ebon Hawk after Kreia saves the exile from the situation at hand before she was autopsied. And during the whole kerfuffle with the Sith attacking the ship, launches onto the Ebon Hawk with the HK-50s on board still. The events of the prologue happen with T3M4 fixing the ship and going to the Peragus. That's when the protocol, or the quote-unquote protocol droid, frees itself from that hold section. And then the events of Peragus happen with us and the tank, starting in the KOTOR tank, HK-50 performing all of its feats of sabotage in the maintenance department, and then what we just saw the last 3 or 4 hours doing. And so it goes a long way to be able to explain that, and most of that is information you can absolutely miss. And so, like, you're not even required to know half of that, honestly, but knowing the chain of events makes it a stronger story for it.
I have a bad feeling about this. Don't you feel it? Something's gonna get real wrong real quick. Alright, but don't say I didn't warn you. Trust me. When it comes to staying alive, I'm rarely wrong about these things.
That's Atton's Han Soloism. It was funny, like, I think before the Restore Content mod, that is the only time in the entire game he'll say that, and that section will come up, which in the base game means that it makes a point of pointing it out and then never brings it up again. It happens a few more times in the Restored Content mod now that I have it installed, but it's a funny oversight they left in.
I came to warn you, Jedi. You know not what path you walk.
This battle is mine alone. I am not defenseless.
He cannot kill what he cannot see, and power has blinded him long ago. Run! I shall be along shortly.
And with that, Cray will be out of the picture for a little bit. And... okay. So, in front of us are probably our last few options for good loot for this level. Give me stuff. And so if I really wanted to, this would be the last really good opportunity I would have to craft a bunch of stuff, but nothing really more than what I've created so far. Basic relic cell. Dab. And can you create anything good? That's the other thing, is that you can create you can switch to party members to get extra stuff. And so it pays to have a diversified skill set. Like when I get Beodor on towards the end of Telos, it's just a whole other game from there. Sadly, the Harbinger wasn't the gold mine it usually is, which is unfortunate. We might get lucky with the sort of the ending parts of Peragus, but Harbinger, no.
Tell me you're joking. We are not going to cross back into the Peragus facility through the fuel line. That's crazy. All right, but I know I'm going to regret this.
I sense you, my master. Faint, weak.
Your senses betray you, as you betrayed me.
After all that's happened, still you live. You are difficult to kill.
For one as limited as you, perhaps. To have fallen so far and learned nothing, that is your failing.
The failure is yours. No longer do your whispers crawl within my skull. No longer do I suffer beneath teachings that weaken us. And now you run in search of the Jedi. They are all dead, save one, and one broken Jedi cannot stop the darkness that is to come.
Perhaps. We shall see.
You know it's not Star Wars until someone loses a hand.
What's wrong? Are you all right? Damn it, hold on. It's only a little farther. Don't give up on me now. What happened to you?
And so for this option, we'll sort of hint at that force bond I mentioned earlier, which is the reason why Krea's powers will affect both of us.
Huh? How do you know that? Look, if she's in pain, then that pain's buying us time we can't afford to waste. Especially if Sleeps with Vibroblades gets tired of playing with her and decides to use us for practice next.
Yeehaw. And look who it fucking is.
It's a utility droid. Looks like it's been hit with an ion charge and dumped here.
You know I'm gonna unite as the T3. He is probably one of the biggest MVPs of this entire series. I don't end up using him an entire lot throughout a playthrough, but you can make him an absolute unit with the toughness feats. Towards the end of the game and towards a very particular section, I usually have him rolling around with like 300 plus health, which is, as the kids say, redonk. Also, you can make him regenerate. So. Alright.
More where that came from. More where that came from.
Great. Now give me your stuff. They can take care of it. I know they're still fighting over there, but I'm such a good boss. Alright,
Just say the word.
get him, boy. Damn. D3? No, your skill's gonna be too low. Alright, just break the line. I try to save all the mines I can because I use them to excel when I get to Citadel Station.
Everyone down! Time to take you down to size.
Awesome. Let's see. I am using Thor an awful lot. I'm gonna go with dueling. Yeah, I am really just getting nothing.
More where that came from. Everyone down!
I don't think that T3M4
More where that came from!
So this is the other issue that you'll occasionally come across in a playthrough of this game, and that at some point, because of a memory issue, the dialogue will just skip by. There's nothing that's super critical about this particular conversation so much that it's just that, and then the NT3 and 4 doing some exposition about T3 and 4 saving us and all that. I'm gonna try and see if reloading fixes the problem. But yeah, like New Vegas, this game is lots of memory leaks.
What is it?
Alright, looks like it's mostly fixed. He said confidently. You're probably just using it. Don't mind me, guys. You're doing a great job over there. Dun, 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 dun. Perfect. And so if I had a stealth unit,
I hear you.
could have Atten, I could have Atten go through and design mines. I don't have a stealth unit, so I'm not going to have him do that. And the nuclear option is just using disable draw on the mine. So.
More where that came from!
Switch to T3M4.
Just say the word.
Can I get Kim's programming spikes now? Sweet.
I hear
It's
you.
worth pointing out that you can actually still go through here with the decontamination thing still going on. It's been poisoned. It's just a lot easier if you don't do that. Gonna keep saving while I get through these points of failure. And under the hangar. I suppose I should be happy I got this armor at this point. I got a lot of upgrade items. That's not, I mean, it's not terrible. I won't take a stick at it. But what's the guy gotta do to get a decent weapon though? I'm gonna have to buy stuff from the Duros. I don't actually have to kill this droid.
More where that came from.
Quick save. Peethy. That should be fine. Just to make a backup so if the worst case happens, I don't have to redo the entirety of what I just did again. And one of the few missteps I think done here is that I don't think they do enough to set this next section up. And so it's still doing that skip thing.
There is no time. We must leave.
If they hit us, we're dead. But if they keep missing us, we're dead. It's great odds. Somebody shut that trash compactor up.
So at this point, you could direct into fire on the asteroids, which, as we all know, are ludicrously explosive. But if we keep our distance, eventually the Harbinger will fire on the asteroids, setting them off. So there is de facto no way to save Peragus at this point, which becomes a relevant plot beat for most of the game, and it comes to a head at the end of it. So I'm going to do the light side thing and just keep the distance between us.
I'm doing all I can, and that's not enough. What'd you do to make these guys so mad? Well, either they hit us and destroy us, or they hit an asteroid and make the whole field go nova.
What are the asteroids? They can be destroyed by us as well as them, can they not?
That'll take out the whole field, the colony, and maybe us. We might not even be able to jump to hyperspace in time.
Then we die here. Choose now.
Hold on! This is gonna get a little rocky.
Ba-bum-bum. And there it goes.
Well, now that we just killed a planet, maybe one of you can tell me what's going on. Because between assassin droids, a Sith Lord that looks like he sleeps with vibroblades, and being target practice for a Republic warship, I was better off in my cell.
The Republic warship was the Harbinger. It was seized on its way to Telos by the Sith. They sought you, Jedi.
Because you are the last of the Jedi. Once you are dead, then they have won. Exile or not, the Sith believe you to be a Jedi Knight, and that is all that matters. The Jedi Civil War destroyed the Jedi. By the war's end, barely 100 Jedi remained. Many fell in battle, and many more were seduced by Revan's teachings. The Jedi Academy on Dantooine is nothing more than a crater that echoes with the ghosts of dead Jedi, and the Jedi Temple on Coruscant lies empty. The waters in the Room of 1,000 Fountains have fallen still, in reverence to the fallen Jedi, and those now lost. Many Jedi blamed the teachings of the Jedi Masters for Revan's fall, and the civil war that followed.
And so from here, at this point, you can kind of set the tone of what you're going to do going forward. Is that, do you want to warn the Jedi, or perhaps do you want to make sure that you are, in fact, the last of the Jedi?
Perhaps, but they are Jedi no longer. If the Sith have not already slain them, then they will not help you, nor can you help them.
Yes, to aid in the recovery effort there. Many roads lead to Telos, including ours.
Not like we have much of a choice, the Peragus astrogation charts being what they are.
It is where we must go, and where the Harbinger was bound before our unfortunate encounter on Peragus. You were difficult to find, but coincidence was on our side. When I learned that you were on the vessel, I knew the Sith would not be far behind. When we intercepted the Harbinger, it was crippled, drifting in space. It was a simple matter to board the vessel and rescue you. Unknown to me, however, the Sith were already on board. Just as we made the jump to hyperspace, they fired upon us, nearly destroying the Ebon Hawk. Whatever occurred on board the Harbinger had rendered you unconscious. Though your thoughts were faint, I was still able to find you, sealed in one of the cargo holds. True. But as one trained in the Force, you know that true coincidences are rare. I do not know how the Ebon Hawk was able to make it to Be silent. We're having a conversation here.
Repaired this ship, my eye. Next thing you know, it's gonna claim credit for saving our skins. If that little noisemaker says it repaired the ship once, then it can prove it by doing it again. Go on, get!
No respect. No respect at all for the little buddy.
That is not an easy question to answer. This threat is greater than you know, and I do not believe it is a battle that can be fought.
Look, enough with the we already.
We cannot hope to triumph against them alone. To stop them you will need weapons, allies, and a teacher. In the end, I fear it may not be enough. You fought in the Mandalorian Wars, and it cost you everything. Are you willing to sacrifice as much again? You are not listening to me. This is not like any field of battle you have ever fought in. Think carefully on your choice. If you choose to fight, if you choose war, it is a path few turn from once the first steps are taken. It carries with it a terrible price, and in the end you may find you have nothing left to sacrifice. Like so many Jedi, you hear, but you do not listen. You have much to learn, but we have spoken long enough, and my wound pains me. If you have other questions, find me in the crew quarters. There we will speak more.
Hey, don't stop your long, boring rants on my account. I was just getting sleepy-eyed.
Also in private, we will be mercifully free from the opinions of imbeciles and fools.
Look, not like I care or anything, but you might want to go check on our passenger, especially with that hand of hers. We're on autopilot until we hit Telos. Until then, a droid could fly this thing. Besides, I think our passenger could use your help.
Alright, another level. And even numbered attributes are harder to pick because you don't know necessarily which one you're going to go with. I'm going to go with Wisdom. I need more force points. Get that, make me a little less prone to being shot. It's a really nice power.
Have you come for more answers? There is little more left to give. That does not surprise me, any more than you hearing my thoughts when we were apart. The pain, however, was unexpected. If I could, I would have shielded you from it.
This is an important question to ask, I feel like.
I do not know. I fear that the consequences would have been more extreme. Possibly, yes, and I fear it works both ways. I would not wish to test it, nor should you. When battle is upon us, I suspect our minds are prepared enough to shield each other from the pain. I think we shall not have a repeat incident of what happened at Peragus. It seems the Force flows easily between us. When one of us manipulates the Force to heal or strengthen ourselves, the other is aided as well.
So this was the ability that Kreia has that I was explaining earlier.
A powerful technique indeed, though, as we have noticed, it has its drawbacks. I do not know. The Sith struck more swiftly than I thought, and they will not stop until they have you in their grasp. If you fall, all the galaxy will echo it. It does not matter where we go. It is not the destination that matters. It is the journey. All paths will take us to the end, whatever it may be, and no matter how strongly we fight against it. For now, we are bound for Telos, and that is enough. Before the war, Jedi who failed their training were sent to the fields of Telos to serve the galaxy, not as Jedi Knights, but as farmers and laborers. The destruction of Telos was complete. I doubt any Jedi remain. Yet there may be echoes of their passing. We shall see. Then I am left with nothing more than we had already. My faith in you and your ability to meet what comes. I would see to that fool in the cockpit and remind him of our destination. I would not want him attempting to veer from Telos. He is a fool and an imbecile. His potential lies downwards, not up. Watch that one. His thoughts are slippery. I do not trust him, and nor should you. Such a man serves himself first, and his allies next.
So, as you can kind of gather, Atten and Kreia do not like each other, and this really doesn't improve this entire time, but that dislike does go some interesting places. And this door is closed. Anyone who's played the first game knows who this is. And so does T3. He'll be sort of a fixer-upper project for the Exiles we go through on the playthrough. Getting paranoid about the playthrough.
How's our passenger? She's still aging? Yeah, to you, maybe. I don't usually hear much beyond fool and imbecile. She's lucky she's a Jedi, or someone would have killed her years ago. I mean, how old do you think she is? She may have been good-looking once, but it takes some hard living to make creases like that.
Atten is a master of air keyboard.
Hey, I just got out of prison. If we had a decent navicomputer, trust me, we'd be dropping out of hyperspace into the Nar Shaddaa Red Sector right now. After spacing that old witch, of course. Like we have a choice? It's the only place Peragus had logged in their astrogation charts. Well, if you thought Peragus was dead, then Telos is a dying world they're trying to breathe back to life. Should be there before too long. You can check our course on the galaxy map if you want. It's on the wall behind you. So? What happened? Don't give me that. There were plenty of times back on Peragus where a lightsaber would have been helpful. So where's yours?
So this is just a fun, kind of a for fun section that is given to you, and that you can describe the lightsaber you had when you were a member of the Order. It comes up a few times, and if you play your cards right, you can even get it back. But it just kind of describes. It's a fun flavor detail.
Oh yeah? I thought a Jedi was supposed to be married to their lightsaber. Guess I heard wrong. Were you a single hilt or one of those double-bladed Jedi? Huh. Figures. It wasn't red, was it?
And you can make your lightsaber red.
Yeah? Unique how? Must have been something. Sure be nice to have it now. Might make those Sith think twice before coming after us. Alright, forget I said anything. Like I said before, you can check our course on the galaxy map if you want. It's on the wall behind you.
And so when we meet a certain someone later, we're gonna see a purple lightsaber.
Attention, this is Citadel Station Bay Control, Dock Module 126. Please remain where you are. Lieutenant Dahlgren will arrive shortly to meet you. That is all.
I don't like the sound of that. If they think we caused the explosion... Uh-oh. Here comes the welcoming party. They may not know what happened, so don't blow it.
I'm Lieutenant Gren, Telos Security Force. I'm under orders to take you into custody in regards to the destruction of the Peragus mining facility.
So it's gonna. There's really no way to avoid your house arrest here, so it's just easier to go with it.
You haven't been formally charged, but you will be placed under house arrest pending the results of our investigation. Due to the nature of the investigation, I have no specific timetable to offer you. In the meantime, your ship and any droids will have to be given over for safekeeping. Yes, that includes you. You are a droid, so you will be detained. In addition, we will have to take your personal arms and armor until the completion of our inquiry.
Hold on. Is there any way to get our gear back?
If you are cleared of any involvement, your personal effects will be returned to you. You will be held briefly in the TSF station until living quarters can be arranged, at which point you will be placed under house arrest. Do you understand? Good. My men will relieve you of any arms and armor. Please follow me.
Tell me I'm not going to jail again.
Adam ends up in a lot of prison cells throughout this entire playthrough. It's also worth pointing out that you can be an absolute dick to Lieutenant Ren, which can be fun for a dark side playthrough, or if you just want to play that way, or if you're doing a
You will be held here
more
briefly.
of a gray playthrough.
Living quarters are being arranged for you and your companions as we speak. Someone will return shortly to escort you to an apartment in residential module 082.
Well, we might be here for a while. Might as well get comfortable.
Someone is coming. So this is the last of the Jedi. I must admit I'm a little disappointed. Jedi or no, you're the one I am pledged to kill. There is no mistaking that. The exchange has a bounty on Jedi, you know. You're worth quite a bit of money.
The exchange, huh? I'm pretty sure some two-bit pistol jockey like yourself isn't one of them.
Hey? I'm more than skilled enough to work for the exchange.
You bounty hunters couldn't even win a fair fight. You're the cheapest, most worthless mercenary scum in the galaxy. I'd hire a Mandalorian over your filth in a second.
No Mandalorian could match my skills. No Mandalorian could have been clever enough to infiltrate this station, taken the identity of one of the guards, then...
Then what? Overloaded our force cage fields and made it look like an accident? You probably don't even have the guts to fight me. Pathetic.
Don't think overloading your cages had not occurred to me. You're wanted alive, but I doubt anyone will care as long as I bring them your corpse.
Let's get this over with.
Come, Jedi. It is time to die.
Hey, leave her alone. You want to fight? Then try me, if you've got the guts.
You have goaded me once, and you shall not do so twice. But I shall dispose of all of you eventually. And an old woman, a fool, and a broken Jedi are no match to my skills.
That's a hell of an epitaph.
The security cameras up.
What? Stands there.
What's going on here?
Man down! Quick! Call a medic!
All right, Jedi. I want you to back up slowly. Hands in front of you. Into the force cage. Cooperate, and we won't have to gun you down.
Come on, Lieutenant. They've already killed... who is that? Is that Batu Rem?
Rem's no assassin.
Batu Rem is on leave. He shouldn't even be on the station. This man isn't him. We've arranged for an apartment in residential module 082. You'll stay there under house arrest until our investigation of the Peragus matter is complete. You'll be under TSF protection. I'll personally clear any visitors to your quarters, and we'll investigate this incident to the best of our ability. Officer, get Lieutenant Yima a report of this incident. She'll look into this. The rest of you come with me. We'll escort you to the apartment in 082 immediately. These will serve as your quarters for the duration of your house arrest. 2 officers will be stationed outside at all times. Again, I'll clear any visitors. There won't be another incident.
But just to be on the safe side, why don't you leave us a blaster or 2?
I can't say. We have a ship examining what's left of the Peragus facility now, so your stay might be brief. We'll keep you informed.
Now, this is a step up from a force cage, at least.
If there are any problems, we'll use the wall terminal to contact you. Let's go.
This isn't good. We've got to get off this station. What do you think the TSF is going to find at Peragus? That could bring the Sith... You know what? Forget it. As long as we're trapped here, it doesn't matter.
We cannot stay in any one place too long, but our path has brought us here for a reason. I must meditate on this. In the meantime, we should rest.
Yeah, you go ahead and meditate. As for me, I could use some sleep.
Excuse me, you have a caller. Moza, representing the Athorian planet restoration interests on Telos. Lieutenant Grenz cleared him if you'd like to speak with him. Very well. I'll let him in now.
Perhaps Chodahabat should turn his eyes to his own people, if they truly suffer so. Now perhaps we will be able to rest uninterrupted.
Fat chance.
Good day. I am B4D4, Administrative Assistant for Zerka Corporation's Citadel Station branch. I am attempting to connect you with Executive Officer Jana Lorso. May I put you through? Thank you. I will connect you now. Good day.
Thank you for accepting my call. As my assistant no doubt informed you, I am Jana Lorso. I understand that you were approached by an Ithorian earlier. Doubtless he tried to obtain your help, attempting to purchase it with imposed guilt and veiled threats.
So if you recall what the Ithorian said, that they threw Zerka under the bus. And it's interesting that Zerka's opening salvo is trash-talking the Ithorians.
Oh, and I suppose he didn't mention the exchange, helping you with any problems here? In other words, the Ithorians won't lead the exchange to you if you work with them.
Again, real weird way to open a conversation.
Well, no matter. My apologies. I never intended to waste your time discussing Ithorians.
You could also be construed that what Zerka just said, or what Jana Lorso just said, was also a veiled threat. So that's sort of projection. You'll see some projection going on from Zerka onto the Ithorians.
I believe you're a person of influence. Someone I'd like on my side, rather than aiding the Ithorians, whose quasi-mysticism and bumbling foolishness is standing in the way of progress and profit. I'm not asking for your help, though. I'm offering you a job. Work for Zerka and be handsomely rewarded. You'd be helping yourself. If you're interested, please visit our offices here in Residential 082. B44 will know what to do when you arrive. Their plans for the restoration of Telos are aimless and meandering. Restore the sacred natural beauty of Telos, they say. Just what does that mean? How does that apply to natural resource development and consumption? The proper planning of urban sectors, resorts and tourism? It doesn't. The Ithorians are spending billions of Republic credits on a plan with no defined profit. If it continues, they'll drive the Republic into irreparable debt and have nothing to show for it but a few meadows and a weather generator the size of a small continent. I'd rather discuss that in person. I'll be more than happy to answer any and all questions when you visit our offices. Excellent. Good luck with that messy investigation, and I hope to see you shortly.
We should get back to bed. Whenever they decide to release us, we should get going immediately. Explain something to me.
I do not have the years required, nor the desire to indulge you.
If she served in the war, well, Jedi are supposed to be tough, capable.
Yes, and what are they without the Force? Take the greatest Jedi Knight, strip away the Force, and what remains? They rely on it, depend on it more than they know. Watch as one tries to hold a blaster, as they try to hold a lightsaber, and you will see nothing more than a woman, or a man, a child.
But to lose so much, I guess I didn't realize how much they relied on it.
Do not be surprised. In many ways, even you are more capable than a Jedi. You could survive where they could not simply because you do not hear the Force as they do. It is irony of a sort, and it is why I tolerate your presence now.
But such a loss of ability. For a Jedi, it seems so extreme.
She has been gone from war some time. It is conflict that strengthens us, and isolation that weakens us, erodes us. Add to that she turned away from war, did all that she could to forget it, and the last piece clicks into place. But we have spoken enough of this, and we do her a disservice by not speaking of this while she is present.
I've come to inform you that the Telosian government has completed its inspection of what's left of the Peragus facility. It appears that the Harbinger had indeed been present, though it was gone when our ships arrived and was responsible for the station's destruction. Logs recovered from the facility's wreckage indicated that the miners perished as a result of sabotage, which began while you and your companions were either incapacitated or incarcerated. As such, you are to be released from house arrest. However, the Republic is sending its own ship. They have insisted that you remain on station for the duration of their search. The sojourn is already en route, likely not more than a few standard days. Feel free to use these quarters during your stay. The vessel's IND is complete. Please visit the TSF station and entertainment module 081 to complete the necessary paperwork at the front desk. The Ebon Hawk should be transferred from the impound docks by the time you're free to leave. After filling out the paperwork, it'll be transferred with your ship along with your confiscated weapons and armor.
Well, now what? We can't just stick around. We need to find a way off this station. Whether it's the Ebon Hawk or some other ship. We could hit Nar Shaddaa, maybe. If you've got people coming after you, it's where you go to get lost in the crowd. Hey, everyone needs to get lost once in a while. Get away from something, you know? It's no big deal.
That part will be important later.
Look, this place is a waste. If Telos wasn't doomed before Peragus blew, it is now. Even more so if your friends from Peragus come calling. Because it depends on Citadel Station, and the Citadel depends on Peragian fuel and the Republic's senators. The Citadel's fuel source went up with the mining facility. And the bickering senators? Not something worth counting on.
It is difficult to say. I feel we came to Telos for a reason, but we may have spent too much time here already. Even if the Harbinger was destroyed at Peragus, more Sith could already be on their way. Still, there is a chance we might learn of other Jedi here, on the planet's surface. Jedi who might help us restore your abilities, or sever the link between us.
Well, what do you think? Makes sense. I'll follow your lead.
Alright, so I think this is probably the best place to wrap up, as we've started most of the stuff for the Citadel Station section of Telos, but we wrapped up the entirety of Peragus. So on the next part, we'll start with going to go get our stuff, engaging some more shenanigans with Telos security forces, and go see exactly what's going on between the Ithorians and the and Zerka. So stay tuned for that. I hope you all have a wonderful day and take care out there.